and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaki and today I'm going to be filming my last Screen-a-thon review of The Fault in Our Stars. In case you're wondering, I will not be reviewing Let It Snow just because I DNF'd it and I don't think it's right for me to review a book that I have DNF'd. So just out of respect, I don't think I'll be reviewing Let It Snow, but I will be reviewing The Fault in Our Stars today for the Screen-a-thon, and so this is going to be the last video. I really sincerely do apologise, but time has escaped me and I also DNF'd it, so there's no real point. But today's Screen-a-thon review will consist of me saying my opinions all about The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which I gave a rating of somewhere between a 3 and a 3.5 stars. So it wasn't the worst, but it also wasn't the best John Green book I have ever read either. So if you didn't know, this book is all about Hazel Grace Lancaster, who has a cancer. She's a teen with cancer, and so she attends this support group for other teens with cancer. She meets loads of new friends, including Isaac and Augustus Waters, and she has a very unlikely friendship which blossoms into a relationship with Augustus. That was kind of a bad explanation of the plot. It is still really good, and I feel like my opinions, although they have changed, I still do think it's an objectively an alright book. I just do think that I'm not necessarily in the target audience anymore. I'm just out of it, and I did find some holes and cringy parts within the story that I didn't particularly enjoy. Some things I did enjoy about The Fault in Our Stars though. I do think that you can see how poetic John Green can get with his writing. I think it was beautiful in this instance, and I really would celebrate his overall flow and great structure and flowery language, poetic language of the overall prose in The Fault in Our Stars. I also think, although I don't have cancer, I don't think a lot of people reading this will have cancer, the characters are heavily relatable, and I'm not sure about the rep of, you know, children with cancer, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more and the things I didn't really like about it, but I did find the characters incredibly relatable, although they are like John Green-esque in the fact that they are so intelligent for their age. I do think that these are some more of the more relatable ones. So Hazel is just kind of done with life because she's got cancer, and the only real thing that brings her joy is books, and I can really relate to that, honestly. Gus and Hazel's relationship, although it isn't my favourite, is still really cute, and I used to think it was goals, but now I just kind of see that he was just like kind of just not controlling her, but kind of like taking charge of literally every single thing that they did, and it didn't really matter what Hazel's opinion was. So that's also something to kind of keep in mind when reading this. But I did love Gus's character. He seems to be a lot less funny than I remember him to be, but I still absolutely love Isaac. His whole storyline with his girlfriend and his blindness always puts a smile on my face. Despite me not knowing whether the whole cancer storyline was good rep or not, I can say that all of the other parts of the story were really well handled. I feel like there was no disrespect on the people with cancer, and there was no disrespect on mental health issues at all. This book has a notorious sad ending, which I am very much sure that you're aware of, and that is one of the upsides of it. I do really think that this book had to have a sad ending because it is a sad storyline, and the world is not a wish granting factory, so we have to have some sadness in there to kind of like have the harshness of the actual story and the cancer storyline. To do the storyline justice and to handle the subject matter well, like I've just said, it had to be sad, and that's why I commend this book's ending. A lot of people didn't like it, but I really did, and I think it was needed. Some of the things I unfortunately didn't like about this, and is why I brought my rating down when I was a teen and in the subject target audience for this. I really enjoyed it, but there are some things that I actually ended up not liking. For one, the pace was completely off. I think that this travelled way too quickly and was a victim to very heavy insta-love. Now I know these two things go hand in hand with the cancer storyline in the fact that, you know, Hazel and Gus don't really have that much time together, and that they are both kids with cancer who are given terminal sentences. Well, Hazel is. So they don't really have that much time to get the story across, and so the pacing had to be fast, and they did have to fall in love pretty fast as well, which is why I think that teens would like it, because it's fast paced and they get together really quickly and the story is just really instantly gratifying. But as a more sophisticated, critical, you know, maturer reader in the YA section, I do think that some things are meant for teens, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing initially, but I do think that the pacing of the book and the insta-love are things that I didn't particularly enjoy, but they may appeal to its actual audience of a teen audience, which isn't necessarily inherently a bad thing. Leading on from the Gus and Hazel point I made earlier about, you know, Gus trying to like be in control and be in charge of everything that him and Hazel do, I don't think that this was the best portrayal of teen romance that John Green could have developed from the story, or that I remember it being, to be honest. I remember shipping Hazel and Gus us so much and them being so adorable. And although I do like them together, and although they are quite funny together in their humour and they have quite similar interests and chemistry, I don't think it was the best portrayed teen romance that I've ever seen. I think some parts of it are quite unhealthy, and when you're a teenager you don't see through that. You just think that, you know, Gus is really like swoon worthy and he's a gentleman. But I do think that some of the things that he says to her is quite patronising, and he does seem to be in charge in any situation that he can be. And as soon as he's not in charge, he's not the masculine macho guy that, you know, he's pretended to be to Hazel. He has to like shut her out and be really abusive. I don't know, it's just a bit weird. The last point I want to make is going back to how I said that the subject matter is really well handled, and I wasn't sure whether the kids with cancer storyline is accurate to actually having cancer or not. From what I've heard on the Book2Net and Goodreads, it is not accurate to actually having cancer, and this book has been kind of under scrutiny the past couple of years for kind of like encouraging, in YA in particular, romanticising of illnesses, whether it's cancer, whether it's 5 feet apart and, you know, cystic fibrosis, or, you know, whatever that includes. It kind of started this whole chain of YA books and YA authors romanticising the idea of death and illness. My question for these kinds of books, including The Fault in Our Stars, is where is the line between representation and over romanticising the idea of being sick or being ill? I know that teen love in particular stretches, but does it stretch between cancer? I'm not entirely sure. One of my biggest questions in this book was, where were their parents? Where was Hazel's mum? She was all protective at the beginning, and then it kind of just seemed to slip through her fingers when Augustus was introduced, because she automatically trusts him so quickly. That's what I mean when the pace was off. Where were the parents? Why are they letting their sick teens fall in love and destroy each other? I don't even know. There are some still really good points about this, and don't feel bad if you do enjoy The Fault in Our Stars. I did enjoy it. It was a good read. It was so fast and easy to get through, and the characters were heavily relatable. I just don't know what the line is between romanticising kids with illnesses and, you know, unhealthy kind of relationships between teens that, you know, teens will be reading about and fantasizing about, which is definitely what I did. But there you go, there is my Greenathon review, my last one of The Fault in Our Stars. If I do decide to do a Let It Snow one, which I think I might, I remember reading it and really enjoying it, but DNFing it has kind of like spun me out, and I'm like not really sure how I feel about it anymore. If I do decide to do it, then I will post it, but for now I've decided not to, just out of respect for the authors. I don't want to bash them, I don't want to bash John Green or anything. So this is going to be the last one of The Fault in Our Stars. Let me know what you thought down below of The Fault in Our Stars if you read it for the Greenathon. If you didn't, still let me know. I don't really care if you read it for the Greenathon or not. I still want to know your opinions. Give this review of The Fault in Our Stars a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it or agree with any of my points. If you don't agree, as always, you can converse with me in the comments section below. I'm always down to hear other people's opinions. Don't be scared to share your opinion with me. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for participating in the Greenathon. If you did, we did it. We read all of them together, and I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!